Hi everyone, I wanted to create this video to provide an objective analysis of the Million token. There have been a lot of people flooding this coin on one hand, and on the other hand you have a lot of people shilling this coin. So it's really hard to figure out what's going on because everyone seems to have an agenda or is biased one way or the other. And what I wanted to do is to provide an objective analysis of what may be happening and to help everyone in terms of sorting through some of the information that is out there. So for this video, I'm going to start with a short introduction since it's the first video I've created, then focus on the price of and finally talk about TechLead's involvement. Let me start off by saying that I've been a long-term subscriber of TechLead for almost a year now, and although I'm currently in the red, I did first get into this project at $3 when it first launched, and I've held since then, and I've been following Telegram, Discord, Twitter, and his videos on this project. As mentioned before, I am creating this video in hopes that it provides some objective information, given that a lot of people have been either fudding or shilling this coin. Nothing in this video should be considered financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I created this video for educational purposes only, and I'm just sharing my personal opinion on Million token, and so please do your own research before making any financial decisions. The other thing I want to note is that I don't want to reveal who I am just yet, because the biggest problem with being objective is that you're hated by both sides because you're either not shielding enough or you're not fudding enough, so everybody pretty much hates you for trying to stay neutral. Okay, so for this video, I wanted to focus mainly on price because we may be in a crypto bull run that may last only a few weeks or months, depending on who you ask, because you have some people who think that the bull run will end this month, and then you have others who are going to say that it's going to end at the end of this year, and then there's some others who say that this is like a super cycle and it's going to go on forever, and then you have others who say that this is a bull trap and that the crypto market is going to completely plummet. So it's very difficult to tell, but in the past several weeks the cryptos have been skyrocketing pretty much all across the board, and we do have to contrast that with the fact that has been in a relatively in a relative bear trend the past couple of weeks. And I want nothing more than for to skyrocket, but I think and just to be clear here, I will always hold a certain amount of no matter what the price is, because this is one of those tokens that can just go and skyrocket within a couple hours. So but at the same time, I think it's important for everyone to remember that it's good to exercise sound risk management and to consider the potential risks, costs, and benefits before making an investment decision. And I also want to note that there's some really promising projects for including the Launchpad, e-commerce using and some others that I will discuss in another video if we get enough likes and subscribers. And like the most bullish projects, I think, would be those relating to the marketing with collaborations with the influencers. But for some of the other projects that are currently in development, it is kind of important to remember that it sometimes takes months or years to get those projects up and running, because you generally need to do like months of research and development followed by testing, and then you have to have an information campaign before it starts getting adopted. So I think those projects that are under development right now, like those use cases, they're very bullish for 2022 and beyond, but we do have to kind of remember that we are in a bull alt cycle right now, and there are other crypto projects out there that are going up in triple digits, like literally every day. And okay, so when we look at the price action for Million, we have to consider a couple different things. First, anything that I say can be completely invalidated, because all it takes to pump is for TechLead to wake up one day and say, hey, today's the day when we're going to pump or for some rich person to see this token and be like, hey, it's about lions and I like lions, so let's put a few million in this project. And if that happens, we can return to all-time highs in no time. So, everything I say, take it with a grain of salt. And this is one of the reasons why I will always, have a little bit of MM on the side, just in case this ends up, going straight to the moon. So, the other thing you need to remember is that the price patterns are generally more reliable when it's aggregated and when it involves many people. So, like for small volume coins like these, anyone with a few hundred MM can make the price go up or down by a few dollars. So the price is not as reliable because the data point is basically the data on some individual who decided to sell or buy million token, and it could very well be some guy who was just really drunk and he decided to sell 1,000 coins, and that ends up setting a price floor, which would have been different if he decided to push the 2 to make it into a 2,000 instead of 1,000 when he decided to sell. So the price patterns for MM generally isn't too reliable due to the low volume, unless if you zoom out and look at it from the big picture. And the other consideration is that when the price goes down, the likelihood of it going sideways or up increases. And the reason is partly because of the $1 liquidity support by PL. And I don't think TL will ever remove the support because he is probably a good person and will do the right thing. But even if you look at this as a complete cynic who hates TL, you have to remember that TL would basically prove all the fudders, including CoffeeZilla, right if he did pull out the liquidity support, and he would also lose credibility from his followers, which would reduce the revenue from all of his other businesses, and then he would also risk lawsuits and people going after him, and he probably wouldn't want to risk all that. So for that reason, I think the $1 price support will always be there. Now, the reason why the investment becomes exponentially safer as it gets closer to $1 is as follows. So like at $1 million, you just need one. So let's say 1 million is the market cap. If you have 1 million added to that, the price increases by, say like 100%, right? But if you wanted to increase it by 100% from there, you need $2 million. So as the project gets larger, you need more and more money, an exponentially large amount of money for it to affect the price. Okay, so another important thing to remember is that the FUD regarding the allegations against this project being a scam, that's not cleared up yet. Now, the FUD, of course, is untrue, but you can't ignore the optics and what people perceive. And the fact that influencers and investors alike will probably think twice before getting into MM will affect the price of MM until the FUD clears. So, there have already been a few influencers like Andre who ended up taking down their video promoting MM, and others will probably be very cautious because of the optics about partnering with MM, which has that reputation of it being a potential scam, although it is not true. We have to we have to remember that not everyone realizes that, and not everyone has spent all the time and dedication to figure out what actually did happen. I think for most people, they're going to do research for like a couple minutes, and then if it doesn't pan out, then they're just not going to invest. But as TL mentioned, I'm sure this FUD will go away and people will forget about it eventually. But I think we should consider the fact that it will probably take more like several months rather than weeks, especially when you look at it from the perspective of the information cycle. So as time goes by, some information just turns irrelevant and people will forget that there was even any FUD for this project down the line. But we have to wait it out and have people to kind of have that memory loss about all that before people start reconsidering this project. Okay, so what is the bottom line? What am I doing? In the long run, I think this project is very bullish because we have a lot of dedicated people working on this project, including experienced programmers who are really trying to make this project work. However, the fruits of this labor probably won't show until months in because it's just simply how long it takes for good projects to be developed. And rushing through these projects is probably actually not a good idea because if there's vulnerabilities or significant issues, then those projects may not be a success. So, like as an example, the Million Launchpad, they developed the concept, and right now they're trying to recruit people to help develop the project. So what that means is that they kind of like got the design down. Now they have to actually start programming everything, and then after they finish programming everything, which I imagine will take a couple months, they'll have to get influencers on board by advertising and marketing the project, and that's going to take a couple months. And I guess my point is that by the time all of that is said and done, like the crypto bull market could potentially be over, in December or whatever your projections are. Okay, so before I end this video, I want to talk a little bit about tech lead. I do wish, and I think a lot of other people also wish, that tech lead could be more involved in this project, because the reason many of us got in is because we believed in tech lead and his ability to make this project a success. And I think if he wasn't involved and let's say we had Million Token, except tech lead was out of the picture, I don't think many of us would have invested in this project, and it probably wouldn't have ever taken off. I hope everyone enjoyed these videos, and if you want more of these videos to be created, please like, subscribe, and promote this video. There's a lot more to talk about regarding the other the many million projects in the works, the Telegram drama, the marketing campaigns, and many other things. And if I have enough likes and subscribers, I think I'll go ahead and create some more videos about those. So I hope everyone enjoyed this, and thank you for watching.